You are a great cursor. And so big, too. What the fuck is your hand? Well, fate and contract, and a contract from Seth permit. You don't have a contract from Seth, Chris. You're blatantly stealing his character. I can't wait. Bye now, sweet prince. Dude, if I understand that Seth Holly does not fucking care, but if Chris, the minute Chris makes a dime off of this, like going back to 2008, 2007, whenever this was made in its inception, the minute he tried to make a buck off of this, he would have so many copyright problems, like just so many. You should come to Quahog for a visit at least. I'm surprised there isn't a Quahog that exists in Sonichu, like right next to Quickville. And I'm really surprised. My family enjoys your work. Of course they do. Chris is writing a comic. Chris is writing you, so therefore you enjoy it because he's writing you. Stay safe, Megan. We all love you. All, as in Chris and all the other fanboys and fangirls out there. Not legitimate people who actually want to fuck this character. Those kind of people, the weird ones that are you don't want to speak to them for more than a minute, or else you'll find out that they have some stash of blowout dolls or some shit like that. Now this is trolling. Uh-oh. Turns out that was not Meg, and Chris kissed a hermaphrodite. I wonder how that's gonna roll over with him. Christian, I have foreseen at this moment that you are having a moment of remorse. Of course you can. You can see everything. Would you like to share it before I return the crystal to you? Wait, what? That makes absolutely no sense. If you know what the moment is, why not just tell the audience? That makes no sense what he just said. Would you like to share this moment of remorse? It's just a way for Chris to segue into the bullshit that's going to happen on the next page. You are correct, Metajan. Something does come to mind from my real life self, which is your comic self, right? Without any secondary meanings whatsoever, without further ado, that's not how you spell ado. I want to apologize, and I don't even think I want to read what's on this next page because Chris didn't bother to fucking put it in text. He just left it in there with this horrible pencil, this weird chicken scratch that he calls writing. Here we go. I guess I'll do it anyway. It'll make the episode longer because this episode might be a little shorter than usual. I say that, and this probably will be 20 minutes. I personally want to extend my apologies for offering a bunch of homosexual people and others with the past few pages. Are you actually apologizing for the whole vaccine thing? It's weird because, if you know how Chris writes this comic, he writes it to where it's so slow and methodical, but things happen in between of it. So, Chris uploaded a page of the comic, and it'll completely change in the next page because he writes it so slow and does it so slow that he has a lack of foresight, which makes it wonder that things change so often that he does not plan any of this out. You know how in some of these web comics and stuff like that real life writes the comic book? Well, Sonichu is the most blatant example of this, as you'll see. Well, seen. I have stated time after time, again and again, that I, Christian Weston Chandler, am always have been a straight man. Why are you saying that if you're apologizing? And unless stated otherwise, which should be in about a few years when you started cross-dressing, right? The majority of my characters, including Sonichu and Rojichu, are all straight too. Finally, I have drilled those facts into y'all's thick skulls. So this was made January the 10th on 2010. While I feel the success, you feel the success. What the fuck does that mean? I feel remorse because of a decrease in fan support. So I'm not gonna read the rest of this. Basically, what he's doing is he's apologizing because he thinks he's losing fans. This is the scapegoat way of writing, to where you apologize not out of remorse, but because you're losing publicity. So basically, this is one publicity stunt, which would make sense if Chris actually had a fandom. Next page. Alright, let's right some other wrongs. They throw the SU balls up and they begin to transform. Wow, I'm not sure if that's the best face Chris has ever drawn for this character himself, but it sure does look like it, even though Sonichu kind of fucks that up when you look right next to him. His arm is all afflicted. Just his right arm is just fucked right up. Of course, that, extends to their hands too. Chris cannot fucking draw hands. I don't understand why he can't do that. Just trace them. You're not above tracing. And like the weird thing is that Chris draws the heads first, and then he draws the hair, as you can blatantly see here, to where you can still see the lines of the head outline, but you can still see his hair is just like not even colored over. Like he didn't even attempt to color over it. And they begin to transform. Oh god. Colossal Christian and Ultra Sonichu. Colossal Christian. I don't even know where to begin with this character. I don't even understand why it exists. And so I was gonna make a whole joke where I just laugh uncontrollably, but I just don't have the energy to do it right now. It just looks fucking stupid. Like, okay, so here's what it's actually supposed to look like, and here's what it really looks like. That looks like a beard. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. If he's trying to make a little muzzle, like what Sonic characters have, like what Sonichu has here, he failed. He fucked it up. Establishing psychic telecommunication. Do you read me? Aren't you guys right next to each other? Why do you need to telecommunicate when you can talk to each other? You could have talk to each other in a time void, like a little bubble to where you're zipping through time, and you can't talk to each other when you're right next to each other flying. 10-4, you guys don't get to do that. You don't get to do the whole flight thingy. Loud and clear, Colossal. See, I remember the plan very well. Didn't you guys just go over the plan? Does Sonichu have short-term memory loss too? Good. You spelled rendezvous wrong. We rendezvous. And in Minnesota. Oh shit. Why are you guys going to Minnesota? You'll find out later. For now, I'm heading back to Quickville. And I will go to real quick and meet up with Darkbind. Don't drop your power early, Big C. He has all power, Sonichu. Doesn't matter how much power he's gonna drop. Back at you. Later, we go back to Quickville Shopping Mall, back to Chris's mayoral office. Chris, oh my dog, you get it because I'm a fucking dog. Now, how happy I am to see you again. Thank you, Patty. I'm happy to see you too. I have to take a swig of this spring water. Getting a little of that cough, that cotton mouth there. I think I'm good now. I have continued to keep Crystal safe. She managed to communicate with me a few times before. Wait, whoa, she's still in there. And Chris just yanks her the fuck out of there with ease. This is how easy shit is. Like, you establish these great big plot threads that are really like, oh shit, how are we gonna get her out of the time void? This is how. I'm gonna transform into an already godly-like being, which I'm already a godly-like being because I always get my way, and I'm just gonna yank her out of the time void with no problems at all. Literally none. Christopher. And they look at each other. Shit's happening on the pages, and that's Miss Allison. Well, in the hospital, sitting in an ambulance. The medics will check her conditions fully. How is she now? Unconscious? I mean, she was in a time void the whole time. How do you think she's doing? Crystal seems to be okay. Her breathing is stable. Well, god damn. And she should wake up soon. I think she even opened her eyes a bit during the rescue. That's good. You go finish your task. Patty and I, we will watch over Crystal. I'll call you later to update about any new conditions. Why? Why? Why does Allison need to know any of this? I understand she's basically the mayor. You're not the fucking mayor. She does all the work. I refuse to think that you're a mayor of anything. I understand she's basically busy, but why does she need to know all this? I will inform her about your mayoral plans. He still has to convince himself that he's in any power. I don't understand how Chris's mayoral powers work. Like, are they just there to make himself feel good about having a position higher than what he does in real life? Because he doesn't do anything. Thank you both. I'll see y'all later. Meanwhile, in real quick, god damn, in real quick, this is where we are? Like, I completely forgot about this place existing. Much less it being, like, a thing in general. So we're in real quick. And this is probably where I gotta end it. I can't do these longer because there's some things going on. Sorry. Really, really sorry. Real life dictates otherwise. I really want to. I really do want to do this longer, but I can't. So we're just gonna read this page and I guess I'm done. Meanwhile, in real quick, inside the castle, the cave. Is that the same fucking cave where you got your ancient powers? Is that the same goddamn cave? Okay, so we're in the castle, and oh look, diversity. There's one white and there's one black. See, Chris really doesn't, he really does like black people, totally. Crack. Finally. Was that him roaring? What the fuck's wrong with you, Sonichu? Finally, the chaotic crystal powers have released me from my stone shell. How long was I out? Who's talking? I don't understand this. Who is fucking talking? Whatever. I'm sorry, I'm gonna end this now. Guess see ya. Hold up. I didn't get my answer. I didn't get my answer to who made that roaring sound in the last page. I'm a little disappointed in you, Christopher. So, he shows up like fucking Jesus, obviously, because that's the allegory here. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Chris basically views himself... He's basically him and his, like, little... Like, fucking Sonichus and Rojichus are like... He's God, and they're like his archangels or whatever the fuck they are. I mean, literally, he shows up like this. There's no other way to see it. Darkbind, Sonichu, fear not! For behold, I bring tidings of great joy to you and all the monarchy of Real Quick of England. Real Quick of England that exists in right next to Quickfield. What kind of shit is... Never mind. I'm not even gonna do all of it. Until you, all of this day, your Princess Delina Rosachu shall be reawakened to reclaim her role alongside her father, the Elder King. Awaken and arise, Princess Zelina. That's how easy this shit is. Remember how it spent like all these issues? Darkbind going, oh, I need to collect all the Sonichu balls so I can get my, Zelina Rojichu back. And he didn't even fucking need the Sonichu balls at all. Again, token resolution. Like, he didn't even need to collect them. Sonichu just shows up and says, get the fuck up. And she goes, huh? What? Darkbind, what happened? And he goes, my love, it has been 10 long years. Clontor released the power of the chaotic crystals during the grand ball. Then, and you collapsed into a deep slumber from the royal link to the crystals. Is this like Zelda 2 or something? Is that what this whole thing is setting up to be? Zelda 2? Because that's how the plot was in the NES version of Zelda 2. Zelda was, she was asleep and you needed to get the pieces of the Triforce to, wake her up. That even means defeating Dark Link. Look at me, I'm talking about Zelda. I'm talking about something more interesting than this. I searched long and hard, and you never found them. You didn't need them. You literally did not need them. You searched for no fucking reason, Darkbine. Good job. I found help from basically a demigod, and now I've finally been reawakened. You have finally been reawakened. I worried and prayed for you and your safe return all the while. You did that and endured all that for me? Aww. So I'm sure they're gonna be a love interest because that's what this comic is supposed to be. I don't think Chris understands how Zelda actually worked. There's no romantic interest in between them. Link is just doing his job to get the princess of, Hyrule back. That's the reason why, she gets kidnapped and he goes after her. That's just the thing. It's like, young, brave, little knight guy goes out to save the princess. I don't think there's much, relationship in that sort of, thing. I don't think there's any sort of, romantic interest in that. He's just doing his job to protect the princess. But, again, this is Chris. He's going to write it the way he wants to write it, which means it written the way that no one wants it written. They are just gonna be a cliche couple. That's all it is in Sonichu now. Just cliche couples doing cliche fucking things, and it's not interesting in the slightest. These characters aren't interesting in the slightest, which is the reason why no one cares about their fucking relationships. No one cares about how they fuck. No one cares about their children. They're not interesting characters. They're not diverse from each other, other than appearance. And even then, they all, say the same things as the writer. Even the fucking kids had the same logic as the writer. They're written like Chris. They're not individual characters. I don't even know why I read this last page. I just want to give a little bit of context to the reason why this shit doesn't work. How, you just solve a problem just by waving it off. That's basically what this is. He didn't even need his whole journey. Darkbine's whole journey was for fucking nothing. Literally nothing. Because he goes, I need to collect the chaotic crystals. But, no, you didn't. You really didn't. Because Sonichu here just shows the fuck up and goes, wake up. And she goes, yeah, okay, guess I'm awake now. You endured nothing. You suffered for nothing, Darkbine. I hope you're happy.